Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and do the second part of our lesson, what we were doing yesterday. So we're going to finish the rest of the slides that we did not do yesterday. So I assigned you, the slides that did problems 1 through 5. So today's slides I assign you are problems 6 through 10. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're doing the same thing where we stopped at yesterday on problem number 5. We're figuring out how to write the inequality that matches each graph. So remember, closed circle is our or equal to, which is the lines underneath. Open circle has no or equal to, it's just our inequality signs without the lines underneath. So we know for this first one, since the closed circle, it's going to be between these two. Now, first things first, we're going to use x as our variable. Alright, so we have a closed circle on this first one on -4. So I'm going to go ahead and put -4 over here. So like I said, it's a closed circle, so it's going to be between these two since it's the ones with the lines underneath for or equal to. Now, my arrow is pointing towards the left. So that means all of these are less than -4 since it's going to the left. So that means we're doing less than or equal to my tail end. And see how my tail end is pointing towards the left also? That kind of helps show you which way you're going to use your inequality sign. All right, moving on down here. So now I have an open circle on 6. So let's put 6 over here. Now, open circle means no line underneath, no or equal to. So it's going to be between these two. Now, my arrow's towards the right. So that means then all these numbers to the right of 6 are greater than 6. So that means my alligator mouth for greater than. And you see how my tail end is pointing towards the right now? My arrow is also going towards the right. So hopefully that kind of helps y'all a little bit. And if it doesn't, that's fine. I can probably explain more about that in person when I get to see you all again. Or I can explain it more on a Google Meet if you ever want to do one with me. All right, let's move on. Oh, wait. Backspace on this. Now we can move on. All right, so now we need to graph each inequality. So the number on problem number 6, we were writing the inequality that matched the graph. Now we need to graph, match a graph to our inequality. So right here, if I got x is greater than -1, first off, we got to figure out if we're going to have an open or closed circle. Now, if I don't have my line underneath my or equal to, that means I'm going to have an open circle, and it's going to go on -1. So I take my open circle, put it over here on -1. Now I gotta figure out which way my arrow is gonna go. If x is greater than -1, then that means it's gotta be numbers greater than -1. So that means that would be all my numbers to the right. So I'm gonna take this, put it up some. Yep. Close enough. All right, so it's all going to the right. And see how my tail end's pointing towards the right? That means my arrow is going towards the right. All right, down below, we got y is less than or equal to 2. So we got our or equal to, our line underneath. So that means closed circle, and that's going to go on our 2, our positive 2. There we go. Now, if y is less than or equal to 2, then that means less than is all my numbers that are less than 2. So it's all the numbers to the left. And you see how my tail end is going towards the left? That means my arrow is going to go towards the left. Yeah, bring that up some. There we go. So there you go. So that's all you got to do when you're graphing inequality. Just make sure you know when it's open and closed circle. Open circle means no line underneath your inequality sign, no or equal to. Closed circle means there is a line underneath your inequality sign, so your or equal to. Greater than means your arrow points towards the right, and less than means your arrow points towards the left. Okay, go ahead and backspace. Whoops. All right, so let's go on to problem number 8. So we're going to be graphing again. So looking at my k is greater than or equal to 4. So if it's or equal to, that means closed circle, and it's going to go on our positive 4. There we go. Now, if it's greater than or equal to, remember greater than means your arrow goes towards the right, not that one. There we go. So my arrow is going towards the right because it's greater than or equal to 4. I got my closed circle. All right, down here, r is less than -7. So less than doesn't have the or equal to, so that means it's open circle on -7. All right, now if it's less than -7, then less than means my arrow goes towards the left. I'm going to make my arrow a little bit smaller. There we go. So it's all right that it's blurry, but I made it a little bit smaller so you can see. So it's anything less than -7. So anything to the left is less than. So that's all you do with graphing each inequality. So I'm going to go ahead and backspace. All right, going on to problem number 9. So we're almost there. So we need to write the inequality for the word problem. Then we need to graph it on a number line. Oh yeah, that's another thing. What we were graphing on, those are called number lines. Okay, so if you see something like this, it's a number line. All right, so the car can hold up to 4 passengers. So we have to write an inequality for the number of passengers that could be in the car at any given time. So we got to write that, and then we got to graph it. So if it can hold up to 4 passengers, that means it can hold 4 passengers, but it can't hold any more than that. So that means that at most it can do 4 passengers. So let's use C for car, and since it's 4 passengers, so hold up to 4 passengers, at most 4 passengers. So that means it's got to be less than or equal to 4. And we can go over and check our answer real quick just to make sure. And yep, there we go. All right, so now we need to graph this. So since we are using less than or equal to, the or equal to shows us it's going to be a closed circle on 4. So I need to put my closed circle. There we go. So I need to put closed circle on 4. Now it's less than or equal to 4. So less than means our arrow goes to the left. No, not the greater than. Less than. There we go. Alright, I'm going to make my arrow smaller so it doesn't go over my 4. There we go. That works. Alright, so C is less than or equal to 4, so we use closed circle because we're using or equal to. And it's less than or equal to 4, so that means our arrow goes towards the left. Okay. Backspace. There we go. All right, and our last problem, number 10. Same thing. We got to write the inequality for the word problem, then graph it. So Brady received some money for his birthday. He could now afford the squishy ball for $5 at the school store. So write an inequality for the amount of money Brady could have before buying the ball. So if he received some money for his birthday, he can now afford the squishy ball for $5. So if we have to write an amount of money Brady could have before buying the ball, that means that he had less than $5 before buying it. That means he couldn't buy the squishy ball for $5 until he got money for his birthday. So before his birthday, he had less than $5. So let's go ahead and use M for money, and then since it's $5, we're going to use 5. So we know that when he got birthday money, he could afford the $5 squishy ball, but before it, he couldn't. So that means he had less than $5. And we can always go back and look at our answer key. Oh, no. Oh, I read that wrong. Sorry, guys. That's my fault. I know what it's saying now. It's saying, like, we need to write an inequality for an amount of money Brady could have before buying the ball. So we don't know how much money he got for his birthday. We just know that after his birthday, he could finally afford that $5 squishy ball that he wanted. But that means he could have gotten more than $5 for his birthday. We don't know that for sure. So we know he got at least $5. So at least means greater than or equal to, because he got $5 for sure, but he probably could have gotten more too. So it's greater than or equal to. That was my fault, guys. I reread that last part wrong. Okay, so since it's greater than or equal to tells me it's going to be a closed circle and it's going to go on 5. Let's make our circle a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so since it's greater than or equal to 5, that means our arrow is going to go towards the right because it's greater than or equal to. So there we go. So it's going to the right because it's greater than or equal to, and it's a closed circle because it's or equal to 5. Because we know he got $5 for his birthday for sure, like because he could afford the squishy ball, but he probably could have gotten more than $5 also. So that's why it's greater than or equal to. All right, so that's it for this whole lesson. I know it took 2 days. I just didn't want to put everything all into one day for you all. Tomorrow's going to be a practice day. All right, bye, guys.